My view is the best people that want the best for you is your parents. The best person who wants you to do better than them is your family. In business, consistency is very, very important. It is not about starting, it's about being consistent with what you have started. I have this thing where I would never say no to something I don't know.
You're a go-getter.
I would always say yes, even if I don't know how to do it. Small recommendation for anybody who's thinking of doing it, always make sure you choose wisely. Whether that is from candidates, whether that is from the systems and the processes that you put in for your company. The reason being is because if your company does not have a formula, it does not have a standard operating procedure, it does not have operation process or however you want to call it, you'll not be able to go far in life.
This episode is about mindset, hustle, and building empires. And you're going to hear it from someone who's lived it from the ground up. Ioannis Antypas is here with us today in the studio, and we're going deep. Welcome back to the Desert Stars podcast. I'm your host, Lee, and today's guest is someone who embodies innovation, resilience, and forward-thinking leadership. Ioannis Antypas, an entrepreneur, investor, and best-selling author, has made a remarkable career at the center of technology, marketing, and education. He's the author of The Persuasive Marketer, key focus on mastering the arts of selling anything to anybody, an Amazon #1 bestseller that's helped redefine how people approach sales and influence. Ioannis is the founder of Jockey Digital Agency, one of the London's fastest growing creative studios, and creator of WorkScan, an AI-powered internship placement platform built in partnership with the University of West London Enterprise Hub. In addition to building companies, Ioannis is also an educator to more than 34,000 students online, where he teaches entrepreneurship, business strategy, marketing, leadership, and startup growth. His lessons are helping people worldwide launch ideas and transform how they lead and grow. Through his ventures, he's not just building companies. He is shaping how we think about growth, innovation, and impact in a fast-changing world. Ioannis, we're truly glad that you're here. Thank you very much for being here with us.
Thank you, Lee. It's a pleasure to be here. I've been following your podcast actually for quite some time, and I'm excited to share my story and how the way things go might change or might add a bit of benefit to anybody's journey that's watching this podcast.
And we are so excited to hear about your story too. Let's start.
Let's do it.
Can you tell us about your early years and how your family history has shaped the person you are today?
Oof, that's a tough question.
It's the first question.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, we are starting it very, very hard. Actually, if I had to go back to very, very early, it would be when I was 8 years old. Between 8 to 9, 10 years old, around those times, I was the little kid that would sell bottles of water and like sweets in school.
Oh wow, you started early.
Absolutely, yes. And even teachers, they were encouraging me to do that by indirectly showing as if they didn't know that I had this, and they would literally come and buy the water from me. Basically very, very exciting. And then that led into me joining my father. My father is into the import and export business. He does a lot of importing and exporting for big machinery, for example, bulldozers and construction stuff and tractors and farming and stuff like that. And I would go with him to the junkyard. And as you know, the junkyard sells scraps.
Yes, metal scraps.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You would buy them literally by kilo or by weight. My father would always encourage me to be like, you know what, go do your thing, whatever you want. Whatever,
you were exposed early.
Absolutely.
Not only in school.
No.
But
Family.
also in your family.
Absolutely, yes. It was built into the family. I ended up finding a bike in the junkyard, and if I remember correctly, I think I bought it for €6 in Greece, because I bought it with how much it weighs. I didn't buy it as a bike, a functional bike, whatever. So I would go buy it, and then I would say to my father, Baba, I would like to fix this bike so I can sell it. He would literally give me €20, I would go to the Chinese market in Greece. I would pretty much go ahead and buy the items for it, and then go ahead, fix the bike, polish it. You know how you have something you like to polish it, something like that. Polish it, make it nice, take a picture, and then post it online.
Yeah, so it looks like it's new.
Absolutely, yes. So the bike would cost me, I would buy it for €6. I would spend like 20, 30 euros on it. Let's say 40 euros in total, and then I would sell it for 100, 150, 100, maybe 200, depends on the bike. And then that technology led into business. Started doing mobile apps, published quite a few great games on the Apple App Store.
At what age was that?
I think 10 to 12.
You built an app at the age of 10 to 12?
Yes, that was a gaming app. If I'm not mistaken, it has been sold off right now. I mean, I sold it off when I was 14 years old, but right now it has been sold off to a different company that I sold it to.
They bought it from you?
Yeah. The first commercial deal with a company that I did was at the age of 14, I believe. Yes.
Oh wow! At the age of 14, I was still outside playing. I was just playing.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Definitely.
I know, but still, wow, that's remarkable.
Yes, it definitely did a very big buzz in school when I was in school. They were like, "Oh yeah, I've got a game," and it was a little addictive game, I must say, also.
At an early age, you were exposed to entrepreneurship, right? Buying scraps, and then the bike. How did you transition to building apps? Because that's a big change. You were interested in computers, in tech.
Yes.
I think this would be high school, right?
Yes. I mean, that would be even primary. It wouldn't even be like high school. It would be like primary, I believe. Yes. But to answer your question, what got me into this was again my father.
Okay.
So my father has been very, very supportive, very, very supportive. So the way it went is he was taking his visa for the US, and we went to the embassy, and I was with him, and I was like, the little kid, like, who couldn't exactly tag along kind of thing. And then my father likes to put me into real life scenarios, so he can see my reaction, what I do, what wouldn't I do, and how I would take things. We were at the counter, literally at the counter in front of the agent that was checking like the information, the documents and stuff like that, and I heard clicking.
You heard the keyword.
Exactly, yes.
Okay.
I didn't know what was going on, and then I looked at my father. I tapped him. I was like, what's going on? What is this sound? He'd literally pick me up. He would put me like on the top of the desk to see the agent typing on his keyboard. And then later on, before we were leaving, I made a little comment, and I said, when I grow up, I want to like be like this guy, or like something along those lines.
Right.
And later that night, the same night, he sent me with his close friends to the computing market to buy me my first ever desktop.
Oh wow.
Yes, and then he set me up like a little office in his business, and he would literally allow me to literally break the computer, completely break it and put it back together. So I understand how it works from A to Z, because if you can't break thing and you can't fix it, then you wouldn't understand the process of it, of how it works.
That's true.
So that's why he would tell me, break it, fix it, learn how to do it. You have a question, ask.
So you started with breaking and fixing it.
Yes.
The output.
Yes.
The output first.
Absolutely.
Before the input.
Yes. Because I wouldn't know what's the input if I didn't know the output.
True. That's true.
So we would have to like pre-plan it. His friend was very, very supportive also. He would literally show me like a couple of things on the computer. We first started with installing the operating system, Windows.
Yes.
So we were starting like with Windows, and then that led into...
You remember that? The sound?
Definitely.
And the waiting?
Yes, absolutely. I remember the screen being like this big.
Yes.
It's been quite some time.
The old TVs, right?
Yes.
We still have the back part.
Absolutely.
And now you don't have it.
No, now you have smart TV, and that's like very, very thin.
Yeah.
I mean, how the world changes, right?
Yes, exactly.
So
let's go to the moment that you sold your first mobile app, the gaming app. Did it feel?
I felt like the richest man in the world.
For sure.
So, being at a very, very young age, doing something that, you wasn't even expecting, because at such a young age, who would like think about, money, business, selling something,
I told you I was just playing outside at that age.
So,
for you, wow.
It's
amazing.
And you know what's funny? I actually got an email, and then that's when that happened. So I had to go back and follow the emails. By the way, let me just like make it very clear. My father is not a technological guy. My father is not into tech at all.
I had that at the back of my mind too.
He would literally, he's a business person. He's into 1 + 1 = 2. That's it. But he would see that his son is interested in something. He would push him to go and do whatever he wants. He never pressured me on being like a doctor or being like a pilot or whatever. Even though when I was younger, I wanted to be a pilot. He wouldn't stop me. He would tell me, do whatever you want. As long as you have a degree, hang it on the wall, do whatever else you want. I don't have a problem. As long as you have a degree and hang it on the wall, so you have something to fall back into in your life. Because if you want to do something fun, hobby or whatever, you can do it at any time in life. But then if that doesn't go as planned, but you have got a degree hanging on the wall, you can get back into your business that you started with the degree.
Yes.
You
have a fallback, just like you said. That's good.
Yes.
And the way that your father is teaching you is, and the way that he brought you up, doing the things that you like.
Yes.
And not what, because for us in the Philippines, it's very popular that we follow what's
Parents.
what our parents like. And I think your parents are genuinely different in this kind, because they let you be your own and they supported you.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the best way to do it. In my opinion, might be other people's opinions also, but my view is the best people that want the best for you is your parents. Whether it is with one thing, whether it is with a lot of things, no matter what it is, the best person who wants you to do better than them is your family, your especially your father and your mother. When you know this and you move life with this idea in your mind, you would go very far. Because you know, at any moment in time that you fall down, there is somebody for sure waiting for you. I don't like one thing where in different parts of the world, I don't want to mention kind of areas and stuff, but different parts of the world where they encourage people moving away from father, moving away from mother, moving away from family. In my opinion, that's not necessarily right. They could still be kids they want to be, as long as they have a supportive system such as their parents around them, even from afar away. That human connection with mom, dad, sisters, siblings, that's very, very major role.
Yes.
When it comes to...
It has a big impact.
Absolutely. And especially on the supportive system of the child.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. The support of your parents is huge, especially when you're starting out.
Absolutely. Definitely, 100%. I think teenagers, young kids, at the younger times, they wouldn't get it. They wouldn't kind of comprehend, because they would say, you know, my parents are controlling me, or my parents are like doing this, doing that to me. In reality, it's really not. In reality, it's actually pushing you to do better than them. It might not be shown to you right there on the spot. At a future time, it will literally play a very big difference in your life. With that being said, teenagers at the age of 13, 14, 12, they might say, oh, my father's controlling me, my mother's controlling me, oh, they want me to be back home by 12 o'clock. I mean, okay, have fun in the day.
Be back by 12.
Exactly. Be back by 12, be back
It's
by
called
11.
discipline.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that discipline is not for when you're young. That discipline is for you're older.
True.
Because
that's true.
if you are building yourself from at certain time in life, that's routine. And that routine becomes consistency. In business, consistency is very, very important. It is not about starting. It's about being consistent with what you have started. You want to start a business? Go for it. Don't wait for you to have a very big budget, or for you to have very financial support or people support you. No, don't wait for that. You have an idea, push it out there before somebody else does. And trust me, with the world of AI and the world of machine learning, that really does play a very big factor of the ideas you push out. So that's why it's very, very important for you. When you have an idea, push it out there, put it in the market. If you publish a website and you have got your idea on that website, believe it or not, that becomes your copyright. If somebody tries to copy you and you have been online, you have registered your domain, you have registered your website, you have registered your systems online, that becomes your copyright. And that is online, especially if you publish mobile games or you publish apps, whether it is on Apple or whether it is on Google, that still becomes your copyright. And if you want to go even a further step, mail your idea to yourself via your local mailing company. For example, in the UK, we have Royal Mail. Here we have SPL, or even you might do it via DHL, or whoever company you have local to you. If you push that to you with dated letter, with stamps from the post office, all of that stuff, and you receive it, that is your written idea. That can become your copyright in the future.
Wow. So if you have a business in mind, you should go for it.
Absolutely.
But make sure that you register it.
Yes.
So that you can own it.
Absolutely.
Yes. And then you mail it for yourself.
Yes.
Just to be sure,
Yes.
and that you have a remembrance.
Absolutely. And then, of course, you'll have to go through IPOs and copyrights and intellectual properties and 101 things. But starting will get that fuel going. And then every now and then, slowly, you would pour in on whatever you want to pour in.
Now, going back, you studied information and creative technology, right?
Information technology management for business.
Yeah.
But before I do that, I studied cybersecurity investigations and forensic science.
Wow. I don't think that a lot of people are into that kind of field.
You know, a funny story. I ended up doing ITMB, which is the Information Technology Management for Business, as a result of something that has happened to me because of the first degree that I did, which is cybersecurity investigations and forensic science.
Oh, can you please elaborate on that?
I don't think I can get into too much details. I got excluded. I had a very, very rough time. Because I was excluded, I would have almost this close been banned from education completely.
What? Banned?
Yes, absolutely. And actually, I'll show you later.
Wow.
There's letters, there's everything written. And I was literally like 17 years old.
At 17 years old? Oh my goodness,
I
seriously?
did it with my best friend, Joseph Foot. Shout out to Joseph. But it's crazy. Because as a result of that, you know, young kid
Yes.
getting scared from a lot of rough
Very
things going on.
adventurous,
Exactly.
yes.
A lot of rough things. I ended up converting my degree and I went into information technology management for business. And thankfully graduated both of them with a first class. So I did good there.
You founded the Jockey Digital Agency, right? Which became one of the fastest growing digital studios in London.
Yes.
Why did you choose Jockey and what was your original vision?
So it all started with a client. He's a friend asking for help, their digital stuff, websites, marketing, SEO, stuff like that. And I have this thing where I would never say no to something I don't know.
You're a go-getter.
Yeah, I would always say yes,
Yes.
even if I don't know how to do it. But I would say yes in the hopes of me going out there, pushing myself to learn what I am contracted to do or what I have to do. At the same time, you can't show that.
Yeah, yes, for sure.
Because others be like, does he really know what he's doing? You know, the client asked me for a couple of things. I didn't know how to do them very well. I started taking courses. I took courses, I learned, basically got it done very, very quickly. And then I came back with a proposal. And then I noticed there is a gap in the market of where agencies are promoting themselves to something that matches with the business. So we all know the agencies have got this framework where they either go very, very small or they go very, very big. There is nothing for companies of a medium size.
In between.
When it comes to companies such as accountants, lawyers, event managers,
Yes.
or management agencies or whatever, they need technical support. They need the digital agency support because their focus is professional services. They need that support. And this client that I was telling you about is in the construction industry. So they are very good at what they do in construction, but they're not very good in digital.
Yes, there's a lot. Honestly, there's a lot of businesses like that because based on what I have experienced before, and this kind of business is booming in the Philippines because, you know, the digital marketing, it's there, it's been there, but the scale of the digital marketing right now has been in another level. There's a lot of business and there's a lot of startup business. When the pandemic hit, everything went online. You want to buy something? It's online.
Absolutely.
You want to start a business?
Online.
It has to be online. Your business closed physically, you
book
go
an
online.
appointment. Book an
Yes.
appointment online.
Yes, online.
Yes.
The digital marketing, the branding, and everything in between for the business, it became all online. I think there were a lot of business during the pandemic that went online, and this paved way to the digital marketing. That gap
Absolutely.
that you saw that was not in the middle.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And not only that, but I actually love the Philippines. I love it to the point where a lot of people can benefit from basically Filipino benefiting Filipino, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
In one of my courses, I do actually teach how to start a business with the support of the Filipino community. For example, if I was to hire somebody that speaks very well English, grammar, pretty much English, well spoken and written, I would literally look into Philippines. If I want to go and have technical support, for example, I would go for India. If I want to have salespeople, I'll go to Pakistan. If I want to have Arabic speaking agents, I'll go to Egypt. All of these countries that I mentioned, they have got a lot of differences in currency.
Yes.
I mean, we have India in rupees, we have
Philippines, you have pesos. Yes.
So we have quite a few different currencies. And when you compare it to the British pounds or to the US dollar, that plays a very big role.
Yes, there's a huge gap.
Absolutely. Because one thing that people will have to comply with is government. Government is a very big thing that no matter what you do in life, you would have to comply with, you would have to abide by, you have to follow legislation. You don't follow legislation, you will simply not be existing in the market, you know?
Yes.
And if we were to compare, if I was to go by market value or what other people can say minimum wage of that country, and I compare it from the UK or the US to Philippines, India, Egypt, Pakistan, whatever, you will see a very big difference in salaries, but for the same thing that's getting executed. If you want to invest in something, you have to have an outsourcing team, no matter what company you're starting with. Because at the beginning of your startup, you would always have to have a team that can help you. And at the beginning, you will have to have a team that some of the members are jack of all trades. One member that can do multiple things at once.
Yes.
In order for your startup to kind of go further. Of course, it's not always healthy, but it's a very, very good to have such members. And a lot of people are very loyal to one thing. With that being said, when I started Jockey, that's exactly what happened. I had my customer service.
You were outsourcing.
Absolutely.
Wow.
My customer service team and my sales team, lead generation, all that stuff were based in the Philippines.
Yes.
Sales members were based in Pakistan.
Oh.
And my IT team based in India. And then I had the top management in the UK.
I see.
So HR, top management, internal affairs, all of that stuff in the UK.
Actually, it makes sense because you need all the managers together with you in one place.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So you pass on the message to your managers, and your managers pass on the message to your team members.
Yes, that's true.
And then that way you can control it. But very good, I mean, very, very small recommendation for anybody who's thinking of doing it. Always make sure you choose wisely, whether that is from candidates, whether that is from the systems and the processes that you put in for your company. The reason being is because if your company does not have a formula, it does not have a standard operating procedure, it does not have an operation process or however you want to call it, you will not be able to go far in life. And again, as an entrepreneur, you are starting a company to move away from managing a company, to have the company run by itself.
Yes.
And never, ever, ever a company was dependent on one person.
That's true.
It will not survive.
Yes.
No, absolutely not. So that's why you will have to build, as an entrepreneur, the first ever thing you would have to do is build your processes, your framework, and your standard operating procedure. And if you don't know, get to know. Why? Because there is a saying in Arabic, if you don't have an old man with you, go buy one.
Yeah.
Which means if you don't have anybody to advise you, go make sure you hire somebody to advise you.
That's true.
And here is the same thing. If you don't know how to do something, that's not the end of the world. You can hire a consultant, you
That's
can hire
true.
an advisor, you know, and they will do the same thing.
And it's very important because, you know, you need someone from the outside looking in because for you, you're the business.
Absolutely.
You're running the business. You have a focus.
Absolutely.
You have a goal. You have a mission. But sometimes you don't see what's out there. You don't see the other factors that
Absolutely.
you need. That's why you need someone who will tell you or advise you on some things that maybe you're missing out on or maybe you are not noticing, right?
And never,
That's good.
and never be upset if you don't like what you hear.
Yeah,
Because that's
true.
part of the business.
Exactly. That's how you upgrade.
Absolutely.
Some people, they take criticisms seriously in a way that it's in a negative way. The way I see it, I do agree with you. You have to take it seriously in a positive way.
Absolutely.
Because most of the criticisms are a way for you to have the idea on how you're going to like enhance your business. What are the things that you don't see that's not there? What is lacking and what needs improvement, right?
Absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, you are hiring a third party to give you a third party point of view.
That's true.
You're not hiring somebody from within your circle to give you the same view that you want. And believe me, when you hire a third party, they would give you a different view than the one you expect and the one that you see. Now, in my opinion, and of course people can take it as they wish, you should always be engaging an educational body. You should always invest in the younger generation. And how you would do that is by encouraging them. As a business owner, it would be very beneficial to you if you were to go ahead and hire somebody from a university or hire somebody from a school, either for part-time work, either for work experience, no matter what it is, but encourage the younger generation. We have grown up in this age where once you graduate from university or graduate from any educational body, you go to find a job or get hired by a company and the company will ask you, oh, how many years of experience do you have? I just graduated. How are you asking me how many years of experience do you have?
Exactly.
You know, so
I've encountered a lot of
so
this.
and then it is an endless loop. It's an endless circle because you would go to education, you'd be like, I can't have education, I can't have school experience because I have education.
That's
And
true.
then when you go to experience, you'll be like, I can't have experience because I have education. So it's an endless loop. So then
Yes.
you would have to take chances on people.
You have to break that cycle.
Absolutely. You would have to take a chance on people. You would have, that's why, in my opinion, it's better to invest in younger generation earlier than later. Why? Every educational body in university has got a sandwich year. When I say sandwich year, I mean the work experience year, which means you would study 2 years, you take 1 year break for work, and then you would come back for the finally a fourth year
To continue.
business,
Yes.
and basically you continue your studies and then graduate. On that third year, a lot can happen because if you prove yourself to the employer or the business that contracted you, by the end of your fourth year, you might have won yourself a contract
Yeah.
to go back to your employer.
Wow.
And then that's how we encourage the younger generation.
With that idea, I think that's where you got the idea for Works, right?
I was one of them.
You were in that position.
Absolutely.
Right?
I was at the University of West London. I applied to study information technology management for business with a placement year. It was 2 year study, 1 year work experience, 4th year study. And unfortunately, when it came to work experience, it was very, very tough. But fortunately, I was one of the 3 students that got a job offer. I got a job offer from Germany and from Belgium. I ended up not basically going with it.
Yes.
However, I saw the gap that happened because we were about 400 students.
Yes, that was what I was going to say. 3, imagine.
Absolutely,
3 out of 400.
Absolutely. We were 400 students, and out of the 400, only 3 got a job offer. I mean, I was, again, one of them
Yes.
to convert, again, my degree to go back to 3-year course rather than 4-year course because I had to take out the placement year because it was a very, very tough market. But thankfully,
I think not
education all
only
done.
in London, it's international.
Absolutely.
Even for us, it's been hard to find, even for just internships. It's
Yes.
hard. And sometimes you have to give out a big amount of money just in order to get into that kind of position.
Absolutely.
For the internship, imagine you have to bring out a huge sum of money just to get the internship.
Absolutely.
How about for those people who don't have that kind of money? You end up what? Getting debts,
Nothing.
right?
You would
It's
literally...
either you have nothing or you go down in debts, right?
And unfortunately, that's the hard truth. In some countries, people take advantage of it.
That's true.
The reason being is because they know people are in need. There is always a demand for this. And because there is a demand of it, people take advantage of it.
If there's a demand you have, there should be a huge supply. And I think that the one that you built, the business that you built with works in partnership or in collaboration with the University of West London Enterprise Hub is a good idea. It's a nice idea. Imagine if all of the universities have that kind of platform. It will be a huge help, not only to the students, but also to the businesses who are looking, fresh graduates.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah.
just like what you said.
It's always about encouragement. And that's why I think it should be accessible for everyone. Earlier it happens, the better it would be. Especially now that we have AIs and machine learning and different robotics and bots and all of that going on.
Now, let's move on to the next question. You've worked across tech, education, marketing, or entrepreneurship. How were you able to juggle all of it? How were you able to work all of that? And how did this connect with you? Because this business that you have, these are different fields. Like, it's quite far from each other. Usually, if you have one business, you stick to it. And then if you're going to branch out into another business, it's related to it. How are you able to do that?
First and foremost, I would have to give it all to the Almighty. So
Yes,
with
for
God's
sure.
strength. Second thing, it would be my parents, my father and my mother. If it wasn't because of my father's support and my mother's prayers, I wouldn't be where I am today. Because I have that supportive system, I was able to navigate these ventures. Now, the third important aspect of the whole cycle is the systems that you built. And going back to what I said earlier about frameworks, operations, standard operating procedures, policies, all of that stuff, it is very, very important for you to build them as a business. Now, if you are thinking of venturing out into multiple fields, I like to call it the octopus method, which means
wow.
you have an octopus with multiple hands,
Yes,
legs, and all that
yes.
stuff. You should have the head at the top and all of the other ones that are the ventures underneath. Now, all of them are connected to one thing, and that is the head office.
And
The
that's
head.
you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But it's not me kind of like as a Ioannis. It's the group that I have created. So there is the Antypas Ventures group. So that group is the group that applies the policies, creates the frameworks, the standard operating procedures, and it passes them down to the technological companies, to the other investment companies, whatever it is. And the good thing is, all of the companies under the Antypas Ventures group are interlinked in one way or the other. For example, I have a hosting company in order for you to buy a domain and a hosting for your website.
Yes.
But then I have Jockey Digital Agency, which is essentially the company that creates you the website and all that stuff. When we are presenting it to the client, we are presenting it as we are Jockey Digital Agency. We are going to build you a website of 1, 2, 3. Now you have options in front of you. One of them is You Can Host, which is the company that is owned by us also. And we give you a great discount if you did join them on a contract.
Wow, because it's like in
Interlinked.
collaboration.
Absolutely,
Is it
yeah.
interlinked?
Absolutely.
You can give this down.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And then, or if you want, you can choose to go with a third-party company, or you can have your own on-premises,
Yes.
the solution or whatever. What happens is 9 out of 10 customers tend to choose going with our sister company rather than third party,
Wow.
because it will all be, first of all, they get a great discount.
That's true.
Second of all, it will be managed and controlled by the same people that created their systems and websites. Jackie will create the system, the website, and then the system admins and server administrators, infrastructure managers, will be the one running You Can Host, which is essentially built on servers, data centers, etc. And then that links together. And then if I was to go the extra notch, we have Asto Circle, who is the talent management company.
Yes.
Which means Jackie will create the website, it will be hosted by You Can Host, and it will be promoted by us, the Circle.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of like a one-stop.
One-stop shop.
Absolutely. But
Yes.
all of these businesses work individually, but at the same time, they promote each other. So for example, if you was to go to us, the Circle, we have about 180 influencers, A-listers from the US,
Yes.
and about approximately 360 in the UK. When somebody approaches us, the Circle, to say, hey, I would like to promote a business, I would like to do this, I would like to do whatever, we have multiple ways of doing it. If you want to do it via search engine optimization, aka SEO, or if you want to do it via paid advertising or marketing, we would refer you to Jackie. If you want to do it through influencer and A-listers, us, the Circle, will be the one to take care of it. But then as part of the process, we would ask you about your websites, about your graphic designs, about your management, your production, your
Yes.
videos and stuff like that. And if anything interlinks, we would prefer you to a sister company that we have within the group.
That's smart.
And then that way it all happens.
Beautiful.
So
It's amazing. I like the idea. Wow.
And it's all managed by one operation, one system, and one standard operating procedure. As in not one, but as in for the whole company. Like as in one company has got all of this stuff in. You have to have your daily operations, your monthly, your way of doing things, your way of talking to clients, the ways that you calculate your rates. You know, there's 101 ways of doing it.
I asked you about this because if you would look at it in a normal way, you would see that it's 8 different fields, or like the arms, it's 8 different fields.
Yes.
You would think that it's not connected to each other. But the way that you explained it to me now, wow.
It's domino effect.
Oh, wow.
It's a domino effect. You have one thing, it will roll to the other, to the other, to the other. And one or the other, you would have to have everything.
It's in there.
Absolutely.
You have a plethora
Yes.
of choices.
Yes.
And it's in there in one
Absolutely.
position,
But
one
it-
location, one. Wow.
But all of this, you will find them under the Antypas Ventures group. But
See.
if you want to go to Jackie, you would only see stuff related to Jackie.
Mm.
But if you go to Us
Us,
the
the
Circle,
Circle.
Us the Circle will be all related to Us the Circle. If you go to WorkScan, related to WorkScan. But all of these are interlinked.
Yes.
The sales team, they have all been, again, operation, standard operating procedure, policy, stuff like that. They have all been trained, stuff like that, to promote interlinked. Why? Because the client will be benefited from the discounts they will get. Why? Because the whole team, it's one building, but each floor is different team.
That's true. Like, for example, if I am the client, I would truly benefit. Most of all, if I'm just starting. See, if I'm just starting, I need everything. I need the digital marketing. I need the web designer. I need a branding and logo maker or designer. If I push through with this, I would need like for now, it's very popular. The influencers are
Absolutely.
a huge thing. Before, there were just like actors and actresses you see in the TVs.
Absolutely.
Now it went to another level. So you have the influencers, and it's a big thing now, especially with the media and everything. SOCMED, as they said.
It's who you choose.
It's amazing because, like I've said, if I am new to this kind of business, you have everything. It's a win-win for me because I get to have my brand, have a website, a logo, and marketing. You have to hire someone to do the captions, to introduce the product. You need a model, you need a talent, or you have it all. And plus, I get discounts. So it's a win-win.
And you know what's even funnier? Before you even start this whole thing, you need advisor and you need consultancy, right?
Yes, that's what I'm going to ask you.
So-
Did you think about it ahead of time, or did it just unravel eventually?
No, this is with time and experience. Before you start all of this, you would need consultancy and you would need advice.
Mm.
So how you do it? You come to me directly. So for you to start like any of this business, you can do it by yourself and all that stuff. But if you need the full support, you should have a consultant or an advisor with you.
You have a consulting agency?
Yes, and that is actually
Wow.
me, my brand. By my brand itself, it's a consultancy.
Oh,
We
this
do
is a
advice, public
perfect
speaking,
idea.
and
Wow.
so what happens is they come to Antypas Consultancy. They put in an idea. They have 1, 2, 3, whatever, and then through that idea, a whole plan is being made. Whether it is a market study, whether it is a feasibility study, whether it is business plan, whether it is marketing plan, no matter what it is, we go through that one by one with the client, and we will cross match with our industry network partners, such as accounting firm or lawyers or whoever, with the plan regarding finance, regarding law, regarding legislation, all of that stuff. And then once we have the go-ahead from the partners, from the client, from us as a team, what we'll do is we'll start executing the project. But all of this is happening so quick, so fast, blink of an eye, you have got something in place. And then it's all about consistency and pushing it out there.
Yes, you see, this is one of the things why I said it's a win-win, because you get to have everything in just one go.
Yes.
And there would be, like, for example, if I hire you, I consult with, and I hire another company for the business market, let's say the website signing, and then I hire somebody to do the influencers, to give talents, a talent agency, other talent agency. It would be hard because you have to communicate.
Yes.
It would take some time.
Absolutely.
But because you just came to one agency and then they have everything for you laid out, it will be fast.
Absolutely. Now, that's a very good way of looking at it.
Yes.
But let's put it in a different perspective. What if you are new into the business world? What if you were new to the business world and you are thinking of starting an idea, right? If you was to communicate with a website agency, with a marketing agency, with a consultancy agency, you, one person, will have a lot of communication to do.
Overwhelming.
Absolutely. Very overwhelming. But then if you have got one stop where you're consultant there, and that consultant is instructing the rest of the team, then it's essentially you have an account manager that you are speaking with, and that account manager is managing the whole operation for you on your behalf. Why? Because entrepreneurs, and I think a lot of people will agree with me on this, you have it often happens where you will juggle a lot of things at once. That's what entrepreneurship is. It's a very big, a long hat that consists of multiple hats.
Yes.
So for you to start a business, you would most likely have got another job or another business. In order for you to bootstrap it from scratch, there's multiple ways of financing it. Either self-finance, you invest in it. Either you find an investor that invests with, like third-party investor. Or the third one, it's your family.
Yes.
Your support circle, your family, your friends, stuff like that. That's the three methods of doing it. Investment can be VCs, venture capitalists, or whoever it might be. Yourself, you are bootstrapping from your own money, which means you have either saved the money or you currently work a job in order for you to make money to invest into it.
Or you ask through a bank.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that comes under investment, comes under angel investment and all that stuff. Looking at it from a different perspective, it will be very, very overwhelming. Very overwhelming.
That's true.
But that doesn't mean you shouldn't start it, fail at it, and do it all over again. Why? Because from your mistakes is how you would learn. If you're not going to do mistakes, it will be very, very hard for you to actually get the grip on how to do it right the next time round. And best believe, when you do the next time round, you would have more experience than you had before. So if you were to compare yourself with somebody starting up, then you already have got more experience than them because you have failed once and you have learned your mistakes. Now you're doing it again to improve the mistake you did.
That's nice. I like it. That's true. Because honestly, it's true. You have to start somewhere. You have to take that big leap.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
You cannot just continue. You should go out of your comfort zone.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
Because if you just stay in that zone, you will never have the experience. You will never have the knowledge. You may have some knowledge, an idea of it. But, when you go to school, right?
Yes.
You have this idea. You get the teachings and everything, the lessons. But it's different. Honestly, it's different in the outside world. When you go into the job, everything that you've learned, you would notice that it's different. And everything that you've learned, you have to relearn it again.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. And then there is two types of education. There is the formal education, which is your educational body, your formal education when it comes to government, degrees, diplomas, certificates, and stuff like that.
Yes.
And then there is the street language. There is the street education.
Yes.
Which includes your family's education. It includes the street language because there is two different types of education.
Yes.
There is one way of you being book smart, and there is one way of you being street smart.
Yes.
So, and these two will have to go hand in hand. You can't be only one of them, especially in today's world. You'll have to juggle both of them. You'll have to be book smart and you'll have to be street smart. Otherwise, there's a lot of sharks around you and you'll get bitten one way or the other.
Yes.
But
if you do, you have to
start again.
Absolutely. And start again.
Absolutely.
That's
one thing that you did mention, which is the comfort zone. In my opinion, the comfort zone is actually the disease. I think comfort zone is a very, very big disease. You should be comfortable in one way or the other, but not to the point where it doesn't make you go out and explore. I mean, if I was that stubborn, I wouldn't have ended up here in Saudi Arabia.
Oh yeah, for sure.
so
you have to take the risk.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But you have to be careful too.
I mean, with everything that you do, you'll have to be careful.
That's true. Yes. Now let's talk about the book, The Persuasive Marketer, right? What motivated you to write it? And what are the gaps that you are trying to fill in the marketing field?
Look, marketing, it's all about persuasion. Persuasion is an art. Selling, it's a psychological game, and people buy from people. If somebody is not comfortable with one thing, they're not gonna even be interested in buying it. You would have to know this. You would have to know the psychological game behind it. You would have to know the persuasion behind it. You would have to know on people should buy what they need, not what they are sold to. a lot of companies nowadays force people to buy different things at different points because they have got this amazing marketing strategy or this way of advertising to you in ways that are unimaginable.
That's true.
But in reality, and if I want to be like ethics on this, I need to do it the right way of doing it. And that is understanding the game. And understanding the game is knowing how persuasion works, knowing how consistency works, and knowing how to sell to people psychologically.
That's true.
Once you know that, then of course you would be able to bridge the gap into selling to people. And that's basically what covers pretty much everything about selling. How to sell, how to promote, how to find your customers. Like for example, one part in the book that I mention is if you have got a brick and mortar store and a customer comes through the door, that is 50% of the sale done. Why? Because a customer walked through the door.
Yes.
The other 50% is how you sell to them. Why? Because if they don't walk through the door, you would have to spend money for them to notice you to come through the door.
That's true.
So when they came through the door in a brick and mortar store, then that's 50% of the sale done. The other 50% is your skills. Do you know how to sell to them? You don't know how to sell to them? That's completely up to you. Don't let that 50% hurt or damage the other 50% that was already done for free.
Yeah, that's true. But based on my experience, right, as a consumer, as a customer, I've seen a lot of good products out there that they don't sell well. There's the idea. The product is good. You have good product in your hand, but it's how you're going to sell it to the people. Because the way I see it is that you have a good product right here, but you don't know how to approach people. You don't know how you're going to get them to buy. They see it, they see it's nice. But usually what customers think is, do I need it? Where am I going to use this for? So this book talks about how you're going to do that.
It talks to you literally A to Z in selling. Pretty much everything selling. Going back to the brick and mortar store, and going back to your experience as a consumer, when you walk into a business, whether it is you buy clothes, whether it is you buy an item that you like, no matter what it is, if you walk into a place or you go to somewhere, then that means your intention to buy, it's there.
Yes.
Now, if I was to leave you without me approaching you to sell you something, then how the item you're selling presents itself and how it looks and all of that stuff is what's gonna make you decide into buying it. But if I come or a salesperson comes onto the window frame and shows you how it works, what it does, what it doesn't do, how it can benefit you and all that stuff, then that's an instant buy to you if it benefits you straight away.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if you was interested in buying it straight away, you would go inside the store, buy it, and walk out.
That's true. Sometimes I find myself going into the store out of curiosity. You see a store, it looks nice. What's inside?
Yes.
You go out of curiosity.
Yes.
And then you walk out, you have something in your hand, right?
Yes.
Oh my god, it's called budol in our language. It's like being tricked into buying something.
Definitely. And you would end up going home and saying, oh, did I really need this?
Yeah, but or you feel happy. Oh wow, I bought this. I didn't know that I needed it.
I mean that's why husband and wives have got a lot of issues together. One way of saying it. One way of saying it. You guys coming in.
But that's where marketing comes. Next question. What is the most misunderstood marketing principle based on your experience?
That's a very tough question. That's a very, very tough question. The misunderstood is if you put yourself out there, people are going to buy straight away.
Yeah.
Business, a lot of the time, say, you know what? I've started a business. This is what I'm selling. People are going to buy from me straight away. But in reality, no. In reality, and that's facts, studies show, people tend to buy after the 7th time a consumer have seen an ad or an item to purchase.
7th time?
Absolutely. That sounds crazy. But that's literally studies show that as a fact. Why? Because when you consistently see an item that you are thinking of buying or want to buy or whatever, then that builds anticipation. And let me give you a very, very simple example. You have an iPhone.
Yes, I do.
So what did recently launch?
The 17.
Okay. Now, iPhone 17, if we really dig deep into the marketing of iPhone 17, before how long did they start promoting iPhone 17 for it to go right now and be sold out in pretty much everywhere?
I think a year.
Absolutely. So right now, we have got iPhone 17 that has literally launched a couple of days ago, and we are already talking about iPhone 18.
What?
Exactly. Why? Because that is the strategy of one of the biggest and best companies in the world, which is Apple.
But isn't that a negative thing? Like, for example, you just launched your product.
Yes.
And now you're talking about something new, something to look forward to.
In my opinion,
if I'm going to buy something, I'm going to think like, oh wait, there's one coming next year, so I'll just wait it out.
In my opinion, that's confidence.
Oh.
You are confident in your product.
This is on another perspective.
Absolutely. That is, you are confident in your product. I have always been a user of Apple. Whether it is MacBook, whether it is iPhone, no matter what it is. I've always been a fan of Apple. With that being said, we all know Apple launches phones every year.
Yes, that's true.
What's the difference between launching it right now and knowing there's another phone launching another year? It's a playing game, right?
I understand. Like, for example, they will launch it.
Yes.
They will tell you, we will launch one
Absolutely.
iPhone 18 next year.
Absolutely.
But they're not going to tell you what it
exactly.
has.
No features, nothing. It builds anticipation. Oh, is it really going to be better than iPhone 17 or no? Is it going to be the same colors? You see, every iPhone that comes out, it comes out in a lot different colors than
That's
what
true.
it was before.
Yes.
Look, Apple has got such a good marketing team that they go make decisions based on data. So they do data-driven decisions. Somebody woke up today, the chairman woke up today and be like, I want to have a pink color phone. Absolutely not. What they do is they go based on their facts. And how do they get their facts? Is by their sales team. They know their whole life they have been launching a phone that is black, white, gold,
Titanium,
whatever
gray.
it is. Exactly. So what they do is they know from historic figures, the titanium sold X amount of numbers.
Yes.
The black has sold X amount of numbers. The white has got X amount of numbers. But the pink didn't do that well. So what do they do? Take out the pink, replace it with another color.
Orange.
So
yeah. Wow, that's good. That's good.
And that is based on data driven. And other thing is, which a lot of big companies do, is they work with data sets. So how do data sets work? Is based on people's reactions and people's engagement online. For example, Apple has got competitors.
Yes.
Whether it is Samsung, whether it is a different brand, whatever brand that might
Huawei,
be.
yes.
Yeah, whatever brand that might be. They can analyze data sets written by end users online, but they don't do it based on one-by-one case or one-by-one basis. They do mass, bulk data set analysis, which means you as a business, you have got a data file that has got so many information and so many data about different people that are using your competitors' devices.
Oh, wow.
You take that, you put it into your system, and then you instruct that machine learning system to give you result based on negative inputs, positive inputs, neutral inputs, no matter what it is. Now, if you want to improve the business, what you do is you forget about the positives, because the positives will always come.
Yes.
But what you should focus on is the negatives.
Yes.
So you should take that negatives, analyze them, see what are the most common things. For example, my camera, it doesn't open in wide mode. That's what the competitor of Apple, let's say. Then what do Apple do? In the next release, they release what the competitors' customers are saying. Why? Because now if I want to win these customers, then I need to give them something that their brand, that their phone device or company, they don't have, which is the wide camera, which by the way is just an example. And
yes, that's true.
And I would promote that as, this phone built on this whatever has got a wide camera, etc. Now you as a consumer of that brand, you will see Apple has launched with something what they will go ahead and buy it or even try it.
Yes.
And then that's how you win customers.
I think it's also about the value of the product.
Absolutely.
Like, even if your product is expensive, the value of it, or sometimes even the exclusivity of using it.
Definitely.
It's what takes people, catches people to buy it.
Absolutely.
Draws in the attention.
High net worth individuals, they don't go for exclusivity anymore. Do you know what they go with? Can you guess in the comments before she says it?
Guess it for me. I don't know the answer.
Should we leave it until the end? Or should we say it straight away now?
At the end.
No.
But you're gonna keep me waiting. I'm waiting for it too.
They don't go for exclusivity. They go for
Rarity.
Yes. How rare is the item? Because nowadays anybody can get anything exclusive if you pay the right price.
And there are companies who are bringing down the price.
Absolutely.
To give you that sense of exclusivity.
Exactly. AKA fake replicas or whatever it might be. Rare is when you have 1 out of 2 or 1 out of
just
100.
like in cars, right?
Absolutely.
Like
for example, Porsche Panorama.
Yes.
They at some point they made 100 pieces of them. The people who buy this Porsche Panorama, it's one of the 100 people. So you can say with confidence, I am one of the 100 people that own this car.
That's true.
There's nobody else.
And it gives you status.
And the 7 billion people around this world, I am one of the 100 that has got this car. And that's what it is. High net worth individuals, they don't go for exclusivity anymore. They go for rarity. So if something is rare, that's when they want it. And especially when it's rare of one time. So which means
limited edition.
Limited
oh
edition.
my goodness,
Absolutely.
yes.
When it's a limited edition and rare, that means I have something nobody else has.
And that's status.
That's status, absolutely. But don't put your names on it. I mean, if you put your names on it, it's absolutely fine. But if you don't put your names, it might be a bit of higher value. Unless you are Einstein. Or
Oh, yeah. Going on to the next. Your book places a strong emphasis on understanding the buyer.
Yes.
Crafting a powerful copy and mastering the strategic communication.
Yes.
What's one strategy that you believe every entrepreneur, especially those who are just starting out, that they should master?
Consistency.
Still with consistency.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Because you have to be consistent with it.
Mm.
If you're not consistent with it, no point in you starting it.
Yes, I get it. Yes. Because if you want something, and actually the question is, if you want something, how bad do you want it?
Absolutely.
Right? Because if you really want something, you would go the extra mile to get it.
Definitely. Absolutely. And if you work hard for it, of course you would do it. And if you know and you are confident in what you want, you would absolutely do it. There is no doubt about that. But it's all about consistency. Start out and be consistent with it. Because once you are consistent, then that is when good things happen.
Okay, so let's go with your mindset. Let's sneak peek into your brains. What were some of the biggest mindset shifts that you had to make to all of your scaled businesses?
Can you elaborate? So I can give you the nitty-pitty.
Like the mindset shifts that you have to make. Like, for example, you have this kind of idea. You strongly believe in this idea, but it's not working. And that you had to shift to another one. Like, you have this set of plans for your business. Or maybe you wanted this kind of business, but it's not working out. You have to do a mindset shift. Because when you have your mindset to it, you're really focused into it. You want to work for it. But not all businesses, they venture out good, right? Sometimes you really have to let go of it. What kind of mindset shift that you have to do in order to let go of that business?
That's a very, very good point. And I believe what you are mentioning here is most likely to do with motivation also. Because when something doesn't go right, you lose motivation, you don't know what you're doing, all of that stuff. But that is because you're not prepared. But let me surprise you one thing. Failure is part of the process.
Was there any instances wherein you experienced this kind of thing? You wanted this business to work out so hard? You're prepared. You prepared for it. You believed in it. You worked hard for it. But it's just not cutting out.
So that means some things are not meant to be.
Okay.
Some things are not meant to be. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your energy. Go and spend it elsewhere. You have made your work. You have tested your stuff. You have made your strategies. You have worked your plan. It doesn't work out. Don't waste too much time on it. Don't waste too much energy on it. Next, absolutely. Failure is part of the process.
That's true.
It might take 100 no's and 1 yes for you to change your life.
And I think it's also important that you have a fallback on everything.
But then that what becomes with planning.
Yeah.
Let's not confuse things. Why? Because if you have not planned, you have planned to fail. And that's a very, very well-known saying. You have to plan. You have to plan. You have to plan. Whether it is that plan A, plan B, plan C, no matter what it is. After all of the plans, put a backup plan also.
So a backup plan for the backup plan.
Absolutely. You would have to be on top of it. Failing to plan is planning to fail.
Now I understand why they said that if you want to venture out into business, you really have to love it.
Absolutely.
Because it's hard. It's really hard. You have to work on everything.
I don't work.
You have to plan on everything.
No, I don't work. For me, it's enjoyment.
I see.
It's not work.
I see. Yes.
If you classify it as work, or you have to work hard for this, you have to work hard for this, or whatever, then that's just work. You'll be like, oh yeah, at the end of the day, I need to go home to relax, to, watch TV, or I don't know what, But at the end of the day, it's not like that. You would have to enjoy what you're doing. You would have to enjoy, and you have to have that passion to leave office late at night. Go into office very early in the morning. Run after your things. And you would notice eventually this makes a difference to you.
The seeds that you planted initially.
Absolutely.
You will saw the benefits.
Now imagine if I wasn't in the position that I was with my father, and my father did not seed and did not plant the seeds that grew to who I am today. I would not be the same.
That's true.
But he's literally planted seeds and watered them along the way, and then I'm here.
Yes.
So
wow, I like that I like that.
So yeah,
Okay. So what advice would you give someone who wants to start something?
go for it.
Go for it.
Absolutely.
A
Close your
business,
eyes.
a brand, a book.
No matter what it is. With a book, it will all start with a point. You write one point, it will help you with everything else.
It will eventually grow
That
into
point
a
will be
lot
2
of
points,
points.
3
Yes.
points. That's exactly how I wrote this book.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
You started with what kind of idea?
I was launching a project. I was launching a business,
Mhm.
and I was literally putting it here, literally bit by bit,
Oh.
on how I was doing it, how I need to do. And as I was learning it, as like literally, I'm going through the whole process. I have got my own plan, also my style of doing things. So the same way as I was doing that, the same way is what I wrote in here. I did 1, 2, 3. I did 1, 2, 3, and
It's
this is what.
amazing.
Yes, and it all started with a point.
It's
And-
amazing. You were able to do that while you were doing a business. You were planning a business.
Yes, because consistency,
Consistency, but not only in one aspect.
multiple.
Wow. Now that we know that you're from Greece and that you've lived in London, what brought you here in Saudi Arabia?
That's a very, very good question. And first of all, it is my honor to be here in Saudi Arabia. I was working with a client who I was introduced to by a competitor. Long story short, that client introduced me to Sheikh Yusuf Saleh Naghi, and shortly after, he asked me one very simple question, and that was, have you ever visited Saudi Arabia? I answered back and I said, no. And then he followed up by asking, would you ever consider visiting? And then I said, if I had the opportunity, why not? Literally 24 hours later, the office of Sheikh Yusuf called me. Visa was already done. Plane tickets was already booked. Accommodation was already done. A driver waiting at the airport. 3 days later, I was in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, wow.
I visited 4 times on personal visits, and thereafter we basically spoke about me moving here, and here I am. Imagine if I was stubborn and I said no to that competitor. I wouldn't have ended up here. We all know competitors are ones to look out for in order to improve your business and all of that stuff. But then at the end of the day, here, it was much more beneficial than me saying no. That's why you should always consider everything that comes onto your table before you say no. Because nowadays, a lot of people have got this where they would just reject something or say no to whatever it is. They wouldn't have thought of it like fully through. Me saying yes to that one simple thing made me open up a whole new
World for you,
for-
yes.
for myself. Somewhere that I have never thought I would be. Here I am, being part of the Vision 2030, building something amazing for the country, and yeah, I'm very, very honored to be here and very, very happy to be part of it. So
That's an amazing story, by the way. It's not every day that you get to see somebody who gets that kind of opportunity.
absolutely. So that's why when you get the opportunity,
Go for it.
absolutely.
Looking back, 5 years, 10 years from now, what do you hope people would remember about your ventures or your journeys?
One thing that I would like people to remember, and that is deep in my heart, is the purpose one have in life. And for me, is to leave it in a better state than I found it. Hence why I like to encourage young people to get into education, to get into work experience, to go out of their way. Me being in Saudi Arabia, like making this whole process even better. The enablement by the government, by the royal family, by my sheikh himself, it plays a very, very big role. And being in Saudi Arabia and planning something and working out on sustainable future across all of the ventures that we are involved in, it's a very, very eye-opening. And one, it is really my honor to be part of this amazing country that is not only building for today, for tomorrow, but building for the future. And with Vision 2030, we are all aligned to making great things happen, not only for Saudi Arabia, but the Middle East as a whole. And that brings me to my closing remarks, which is this right here. Coming soon, it will be launched in 3 months' time, and it will have every single thing that I just mentioned inside it. From how I came here, to the way I was brought up, to the future, to the relations between Greece and Saudi Arabia, and many, many different things. So definitely stay tuned for it.
It's like a guide.
Absolutely. It's a guide that mentions, I mean, the good thing is there is a lot of cultural similarities between Greece and Saudi Arabia, or I should say the Arab world. I mean, Mediterranean.
Yes, Mediterranean.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So you know there are many, many different aspects if you were to compare it with another part of the world, but with Greece and Saudi Arabia and Middle East, the Arab world, there's a lot of similarities. We go very heavy on hospitality as Greece. We go very heavy on family. We believe in many, many different aspects that here in Saudi Arabia, pretty the same. That's why to all of my Greek fellows, when they do visit Saudi Arabia, it's not a big of a difference. Might be some here and there, but I am 100% certain it's closer to home than another part of the world. If you were to compare it, for example, if you were to go to China or Japan or, anywhere. I mean, there's nothing wrong with these countries, of course, very lovely. And as a matter of fact, they are very advanced also. But at the same time, the cultural difference is what plays a role.
It's big, yes.
Absolutely. So if I was to compare it between Greece, Saudi Arabia and China and Japan and that part of Asia, then of course that would be a very, very big difference. Between Greece and Saudi Arabia and the Arab world, it's pretty much similar.
I'm looking forward to reading that one.
Thank you. And by the way, thank you for having me today.
Oh, we are so happy that you're here. I think that your story is an inspiring and powerful one.
Thank you.
And this conversation has been like a huge enlightenment, not only for me, but also for our listeners, for our readers, especially when it comes to education about marketing, and your upcoming book. Thank you very much, Ioannis.
It is my honor, and I believe my story should touch home where possible. And definitely, I'm more than happy to support where I can. And hopefully, what we discussed today and what people can read will be inspiring to them either to start a business or to improve on a business. So here we go.
That's it for the episode today. Thank you very much for tuning in with us here at the Desert Stars podcast. And to our listeners out there, remember, every big journey starts with a single principle, single decision, a single step, and the courage to take action. If ever you want to know more about Mr. Ioannis Antypas and his work, you can connect with him through his social media at Ioannis_Antypas or his website at www.ioannisantypas.com.
Peace out.
Until next time, stay curious, stay bold.